Hi folks, welcome back to our monthly From the Winemaker newsletter. This is for the month of July. I'm Richtarek, Director of Marketing, and today we're going to have Oak Trials Part 3. Now remember Parts 1 and 2. Parts 1 we're measuring and putting the oak chips into the wine itself to create the different profiles. And then last month we actually checked the nose on the different profiles and kind of narrowed it down to the 3 or 4 different profiles that we really preferred. And so this month we're actually going to taste through those profiles and decide where we want the wine to go at the end of the day. A couple of reminders on upcoming events. We have the Joe Chirino Band here July 9th. That should be a lot of fun. You can go to his website to find out ticket information if you're interested. On Sunday, July 17th, we'll have Guglielmo's Hope for Orphans. Now, this is a very important fundraiser. The Guglielmos are actually working to help raise money to sponsor orphans from Eastern Europe, and it's really going to be a nice affair. It's that evening. Details are on the website, so see if you can make it for that one. On August 6th is our quarterly Bottle Your Own. If you recall, that's a really fun event too, because you get to bottle your own wine, and Alan always comes up with a great blend for that. And it's $5 a bottle if you bring your own bottles, and you're encouraged to bring as many as you like. Or you can buy bottles from us for $1 if you don't have any bottles. That's fine. On August 20th is our annual Harvest Festival. We always have a lot of fun with this one. This is grape stomping, it's foolish games, great food, music. We just all have a very good time, and hope you can join us for that too. A couple of exciting news items here at the winery. We just got 90 points for our 2007 Petit Syrah from Wine Enthusiast. Now that's our signature wine here, as you know. It's estate grown. Absolutely delicious wine, and obviously industry experts agree as well. We're not just preaching to the choir here. As a organization, we just achieved a top place to work in the Bay Area. A very high honor. We were honored at a luncheon for that. You can check the website for the information. California State Fair just awarded us Best in Class for that very same Petit Syrah, and our Rosatello, which is a rosé of our Grignolino. Now, Grignolino is an estate-grown fruit. It's from the Piedmont area of Italy. It's what Emile originally planted here many years ago. So having said all that, without further ado, let's go to the tasting trials.
Here we are at the next part of the experiment. We've chosen 3 oaks that we liked. There was the French Medium Plus. There was the Specialty Toast, and that was the Vanilla Pure. And then there was the Hungarian Heavy Toast. So what we've gone ahead and done is taken each one of those toasts and made an appropriate blend of it. And each one of these glasses represents a oak usage rate of just 1 gram per liter. Now you remember, you go back to the tea and it was 4 grams per liter. So we cut all these guys down considerably. And most of the time in our private reserve wines, we're floating in the range from anywhere from about 3/4 of a gram per liter all the way up to about 1.5 at the high end. And when we find that we use it in that concentration rate, the characters are there that you want, but it's not obtrusive, and it's not that big heavy oak hammer we were talking about. It's just the nuance. It's just enough. You can still get the fruit, but you pick up those extra little, like those vanilla notes, those spice notes, all those little interesting things.
So essentially, we've just taken the totally neutral wine and introduced those 3 flavors to it.
That's it. Okay, so what's fun to do first is I'm going to hand this to Greg. This is the control of the 2008. So this is the kind of our reference point. And again, we're not married to this, but if we can create some continuity, great. If we can't, we'll let it go.
Very nice.
Just kind of see where we're at.
And that was done on the Hungarian.
This was Hungarian Heavy Toast.
Heavy Toast.
Okay, so
we got another one of those up there.
That's right, and that's our last glass in this lineup.
Right.
But we have to bear in mind that this wine is a different blend.
Right.
25% Petit Syrah, whereas the one we're doing now is a blend of Zinfandel and Carignan.
Carignan.
No Petit Syrah.
No Petit Syrah.
So we have to kind of take that into account as we move forward. But, all right, so this first one is a French Medium Plus. Nice. The oak isn't going to be so obvious now.
Right, but you know, I still get a nice fruit component in this. Like before, a little spice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a little more complexity, a little more richness.
Right. That depth is still there, like we had it in a highly concentrated form. You still have those different layers going on, which is one of the reasons why we like it.
Yeah. But we brought the fruit back up, which is nice too. It's like we're not, we found in some of those concentrations, like the ones,
you killed the fruit.
In particular, the ones that you didn't like.
Right.
That really says, hey, you're masking out the fruit. And that's true of even the ones we do like, because we are losing it to some degree. Every time you add something to a wine, there's that equation in your head, okay, what am I taking away?
Right.
There's always a give and take with it. So, all right, so let's move forward. This is the specialty oak. This is the vanilla pure. This is that vanilla character with a little more on top. So.
Yeah, this is really rich. Okay. This is getting back to that creme brulee thing again. That's really nice in there. Okay. Nice fruit. It's got that little bit of sugary toast to it. Yeah. The cream. It's kind of interesting.
That's nice.
So we have to get the
okay. So
Hungarian heavy.
We got Hungarian heavy.
Oh man. I don't know. You know, it's got fruit. It's got, you know, that semi-sweetness to it. It's almost like a semi-sweet, and pepper, and it's just nicely rounded. I just want it nicely rounded.
You're hitting right on the head, because that's what we're going for. Balance.
Right. Zinfandel should have some fruit richness, but it also needs to have a little sharpness to it, that pepper aspect. And I think that's what we'll retain with the Hungarian.
So I think what we should do is take your interest in that the vanilla pure, but also your interest in the heavy toasted Hungarian, and let's start playing with that.
Okay.
So, and let's maybe go 3/4 of a gram of the Hungarian heavy, and let's just go 1/4 gram with the high vanilla, or the vanilla pure, and let's see what happens.
Okay, great.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, so here's what we did. We took the favorites here. We took the Hungarian heavy toast, and then we took that really interesting vanilla pure, and we've combined the two, and we've really leaned on the heavy toast. We've gone with 3/4 of a gram there, and then we've taken the vanilla pure to 1/4 of a gram to round out that 1 gram per liter addition that seems to work for our private reserves. That is represented in this glass.
Wow, you know what I like about this is that a lot more of the fruit component comes out.
Yeah.
And I still get a lot of that nice balance and roundness, but I get more fruit in it.
It does brighten it up, you know. Some of those more base notes that I was getting from the Hungarian oak, they sort of seem to be a little bit
backed off a little bit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, so let's go back to the Hungarian. There's the Hungarian heavy toast.
Oh yeah, this is much more pronounced than this. Obviously, I think that does help round it out a little bit. Like I said, I think I get more of the fruit, still more fruit coming out.
Here's back to your
pure.
Pure. Thank you.
I like the blend with the Hungarian.
You prefer that?
Yeah.
It's a little monochromatic always.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, then what was this? This was our French.
This is the French.
This is our French medium plus.
Yeah. Let me go back to the combo one.
Absolutely.
Because now I'm trying to decide between this and the French. Oh, that's the one. I love that. That is so nice. It just hits you just like nice all the way around. That's a technical one to compare. Nice, yummy, delicious.
Now, what would be fun about this one is we see that continuity happening. You know, we've manipulated it a little bit in another direction because we feel like we can really accentuate it a little bit more. These will tie together nicely. The 08 and the 09 will have some similarities. When we did our vertical the other night, it was really interesting. When we did the 06, the 07, the 08, and the 06 was a really high alcohol wine, and it had more so the characters you would associate maybe with a high alcohol wine, like kind of more port-like, maybe a little bit more raisiny, really, really bright. But when you went to the 07, the alcohol backed off considerably. All of a sudden, the fruit really jumped out. So there was this really big contrast between the two. And it was really fun because in terms of conversation, we had a lot to talk about with that contrast. It wasn't just, oh, here's this one and this one and this one. They're exactly the same. And then when you jumped up to the 08, we brought in that Hungarian toast, which we hadn't done on any of the ones previously. So all of a sudden, you had this richness to it. And so you had these three wines that were showing very differently. And that made it really fun.
Sure.
So, but now I'm saying, you know, we're going to have some continuity here. I think we're going to have a nice continuity, but we're tweaking that continuity with that little extra addition of maybe some of that vanilla pure.
But again, you know, we're making a wine the best that it can be.
Exactly.
You know, it happens to have some similarities. A lot of the similarities introduced are due to the oak. Let's go ahead and give them a taste now. That's the next step, and we'll see where these going from a palate perspective.
So I'm going to let you dive in on that one.
I'm anxious to see what this is like.
So the first one we're going to taste is the Hungarian heavy toast with the addition of that little bit of vanilla pure, and see what happens.
You know, that little bit of vanilla pure hits you right on the front palate.
It's a nice wine because you can feel the Zin has that nice acidity on the side.
Right.
That oak is richening it up ever so nicely.
Yeah.
It's got it has a sweetness, but the wine is bone dry. But you're getting that bright, sweet character of the fruit.
Let's taste the 08 next, just as
Absolutely. There's the 08.
And then we'll try the other. So similar. You know, that little bit of the vanilla pure on that just rounds it out. It's just a great wine as well. You can taste the similarity.
But I think when you were getting the Carignan in this one, I'm really starting to taste the petite.
You're right, exactly.
It's got that base note.
Yeah.
This is, whoa, it's
really
got some
does
volume
jump
to
out.
it. That is tasty. Do you want to taste anything else? Well, we should probably just try. Let's try the Hungarian heavy all by itself.
Yeah, now I want to do the French by itself too.
Okay. Let's do that.
Just as a comparison. So this is the heavy all by itself. Yeah, it's like you said before. That's a little more monochromatic than with the vanilla pure in it. It's nice. It's very nice. It's very similar to the 08 as well.
I like the sort of the dark richness that it brings, and I think that's probably what brought me to it in the first place when we first were blending it.
Right.
A year ago, is that dark richness that the Hungarian offered that the other versions
really
of it didn't have to offer.
It really pulls it out.
Yeah. Oh, and you said the French.
Yeah, sure, the French.
This is the
Just
French
for the heck of it.
medium plus.
Mais oui.
We have to tip our hat to the French. They got the ball rolling in the first place. So.
That's right. Well, that's a very nice wine for what it is.
And here's the crux. You know, which wine are you gonna which one are you gonna do?
We're gonna start splitting hairs again. I can see that coming.
That's it. And then maybe that goes back to the question of style. You know,
Agreed.
If we're gonna start, if we want to establish a style that people can follow, we do need some continuity.
Right.
Still within the context of making the best wine and not the same wine. How do you make all that fit together when you got something that shows up like this? It's just fabulous all by itself as well. That's why you make a bunch of Zins.
Right.
More than one.
And that's a conundrum, everybody. It's like, you saw it, we've done a lot today. This is only part of it. We're starting to split hairs again. We're revisiting things. And this is a never-ending project, so you have to understand that. What we're doing today, as Alan indicated, we've got more to do back here. This is our ongoing effort to constantly evaluate the wines, see where they're going, refine them before we get to the ultimate step, which is bottling them and providing them available to you. And hope you get an appreciation for the amount of effort and the amount of work that this gentleman does in making really fine wines. I think we're pretty much wrapping up for this newsletter.
I think so.
What do you think?
I think so.
Great.
We covered a lot.
Did we have fun today?
We had fun today.
We always have
as
fun.
per usual.
That's right.
All right.
See you, folks.
Bye.